What if I told you the device in your pocket, connecting you to the entire world, was born from the fear of utter annihilation? It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? That the very fabric of our digital lives, the internet, traces its origins not to Silicon Valley startups, but to the shadowy anxieties of the Cold War. For most of us, the internet is just there, a constant flowing river of information, entertainment, and connection. But its journey from a government-funded experiment designed to survive a nuclear apocalypse to the sprawling, connected web we use today is a wild, unpredictable ride. And you might be surprised by just how many accidental detours and forgotten heroes there were along the way. Our story begins in the aftermath of World War II, as the Soviet Union and the United States locked into a tense ideological standoff. The year is 1957. The Soviets launched Sputnik, and suddenly, the unthinkable became very real: a nuclear strike. The US military realized a crucial vulnerability. If their centralized command and control network was hit, the whole system would collapse. They needed a communication system that could survive a direct attack. Enter J.C.R. Licklider, a visionary at MIT, and later DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Licklider envisioned a galactic network, a globally interconnected set of computers, where everyone could access data and programs from anywhere. But how do you build a network that can't be destroyed by a single bomb? The answer came from an unlikely source: a concept called packet switching. Imagine sending a letter, but instead of one envelope, you break your message into hundreds of tiny pieces. Put each in its own envelope with the address, and send them all by different postal routes. Even if some routes are blocked, enough pieces get through to reassemble the full message. This was the genius of packet switching, a decentralized, resilient way to send information. But getting academic egos and competing hardware to talk to each other was a monumental challenge. And the solution they found, an almost accidental innovation, would literally become the language of the internet itself. By 1969, the first nodes of what would become ARPANET were connected. The goal was to share expensive computing resources. The first message ever sent was supposed to be login. They got low before the system crashed. A rather inauspicious start for a global revolution, wouldn't you say? As the network grew, an unexpected killer app emerged. It wasn't about sharing processing power, it was about communication. In 1971, Ray Tomlinson invented email, using the @ symbol to separate the user from their host computer. Suddenly, scientists across the country could instantly send messages to each other. This was revolutionary. No more snail mail, no more phone tag. It was fast, efficient, and everyone loved it. This was the first hint that the internet's true power lay not in calculations, but in connection. The military, however, saw it purely as a strategic asset. How then did this top-secret defense network break free from government control and eventually reach your home? The answer involves a group of passionate academics, a critical technical standard, and a surprisingly public demonstration. In 1972, at the International Conference on Computer Communications, ARPANET was publicly demonstrated for the first time. The room was buzzing. It was a glimpse into the future. But the various networks popping up, ARPANET Cyclades in France, NPL in the UK, couldn't talk to each other. They spoke different digital languages. Enter Vinton Cerf and Robert Kahn, the true architects of the modern internet. They developed TCP/IP Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. This was the universal translator, the common language that allowed disparate networks to communicate, creating a true internetwork, the internet. On January 1st, 1983, ARPANET officially switched to TCP/IP. This date is often considered the birth of the modern internet. The military still had their ARPANET, but a parallel, more open network for research and education began to blossom. Yet, even with TCP/IP, the internet was still largely the domain of academics and tech geeks. How did it transition from text-based terminals to the visually rich, user-friendly experience we take for granted today? And what role did a quirky European research lab play in bringing it to the masses? Our next major leap happens across the Atlantic, at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee, a British physicist, had a problem. Scientists at CERN were generating vast amounts of data, but sharing it was cumbersome. He envisioned a system of interconnected documents, accessible via links. He called it the World Wide Web. Along with his colleague Robert Kallio, he developed HTML, HTTP, and the first web browser. In 1993, CERN made the World Wide Web software royalty-free, a decision that literally changed the world. No fees meant anyone could use it, develop for it, and build on it. This open access fueled an explosion of innovation. The rise of graphical web browsers like Mosaic and Netscape made the internet accessible to anyone with a computer. The dot-com boom of the late 90s followed, a period of unprecedented excitement and often irrational exuberance as companies rushed to get online. Fortunes were made, and often spectacularly lost. The dot-com bust was a harsh reality check. Many predicted the internet's demise, but they were wrong. What was it that truly solidified the internet's place in our daily lives, moving it beyond just a tool for information and communication and into the realm of social connection and instant global reach? The 2000s brought a new wave of innovation. Broadband internet became widely available, making connections faster and always on. But the real game changer is a smartphone. With the iPhone in 2007, the internet was no longer tethered to a desktop. It was in our pockets, everywhere we went. This ignited the social media revolution, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, transforming how we communicate, consume media, and even perceive ourselves. Suddenly everyone had a voice, and the internet became less about finding information and more about being connected. Today, billions are connected. From smart homes to self-driving cars, the internet is woven into the fabric of our existence, often invisibly. It's a powerful engine for education, commerce, and human connection. But with that power comes responsibility. So, from a Cold War contingency plan to a global web of information, the internet's journey is a testament to human ingenuity, collaboration, and even a bit of accidental brilliance. It emerged from fear, but blossomed into a tool for unprecedented connection. What started as a decentralized communication network to survive a catastrophe has now become the very backbone of our interconnected world, shaping economies, cultures, and daily lives in ways its creators could barely imagine. The internet's story isn't over. As we look to the future, with advancements in AI, quantum computing, and the metaverse, the question isn't just about what the internet is, but what it will become, and how we, as its users, will choose to shape its next chapter. What do you think was the most surprising revelation about the internet's history? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through time and technology, please like this video, share it with a curious friend, and subscribe for more historical deep dives. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.